Okay, we are up and running. So, welcome to our Zoom event on our topic 25 essential oils under $25. So, first you get your kit. Uh, that's been what people normally jump in with is a kit with a diffuser and oils. One of them comes with 12 oils. And then it's like, what's next? So we have so many more. I think we have, Caroline, do you know the actual number? Like over 200 plus
Yeah,
oils.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was, I think the last I heard it was like 270, 270.
270? Really? Oh, because we have been. Yeah, that's true. We've been adding on.
Right.
Yeah, like we just boy, we just I don't know anyone is using this divine collection kit. It is so wonderful. I don't know about you, but I am dreaming so much more every day. I wake up going, wow, I actually dreamed because I have not been a dreamer in the past. So these oils are amazing when it comes to dreaming for me.
That's interesting. I went through the whole 3 weeks
Yeah.
with that collection. And just so if you haven't looked up the collection, it's three different oils and the whole collection is set as a protocol to be used together. And the first week you just applied the first one. The second week you apply the first and the second for a week. And then the third week you do the first, then the second, then the third. And I will say day two of the first oil, I had this, it was, yeah, I don't know if it was like an aha moment, but I just noticed I had some serious clarity around some, family stuff that was going on that was just kind of weighing on me. And I just realized what I needed out of it or to do for myself in the whole situation. And then throughout the whole process, it was just more clarity, more clarity. So it's interesting for you, it was like the dreaming. And for me, it was just so much clarity and peace around, okay, this is how I need to look at the situation, um, but it was amazing. I mean, I definitely like I said, it was day two, and I was noticing shifts in my emotions and just in my thoughts and ideas around the whole situation.
Yeah, I would expand on that too, just not the dreaming part for me, but I felt very creative in my thoughts and like I just kept coming up with ideas after ideas. And it, you kind of like what you're talking about, clarity maybe, just things are coming in. They're coming in and they're coming in like I am focused and clear.
Yeah.
So,
And which is interesting because, like, for a lot of people, they do get that clarity in their dreams. They do process through emotions in their dreams. It just, that wasn't how it came through for me. But you had the same experience, you just had it in your dreams instead.
yeah, 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 very good.
Can you hold the box up again? Erica's asking the name of it, and I don't remember
Yes.
the full name. I just remember it was a divine.
Divine Destiny collection. And you open it up, and it's got this beautiful gold brochure that explains what to do each week and, what to, how to use them. Oh, and it smells wonderful. You just open it up and you get all three of them. And yeah, it's just wonderful. So there's week one, and then adding the two, and then the three. So it's all here in the booklet.
Yeah.
It's
And
all.
this is the other thing too. I'm not sure how you or where you applied them, but for me, when I read the collection to begin with, and I'm not sure, it was probably in our educational group. And Erica, I think you're in that, the Diamond Dropper group. If you get the collection, you want to go through the whole thing. We did a like a 3 week challenge, and so every day Jessica put a post in there talking about that particular week
Oil.
where we were.
Oh,
And then she had an affirmation that you can use in the application. But I think before we started, she said something about putting it, like if you wanted to put it on a different chakra. And so I just immediately, as soon as I heard the word chakra, I was like crown and throat chakra. And I just was like, that's where I need to do it. So the first day I put a drop on my crown chakra, and then another drop on my throat. And then the second day I was like, oh, I want to add my heart chakra in there as well. So I just basically put it on those 3 locations. So that may be another reason, if you did applied it a little differently, why the whole actual process may have been different, or that our ahas may have come to us in different ways because of that.
yeah, yeah, I like that. That's I love that. Why you got more focus and clarity, because it was kind of right up in here.
Well, yeah. And what was interesting, because I was a little bit emotional about this situation that was going on, and when I was reading a little bit about the whole collection, I just felt like, and then when she said chakras, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, my throat, because I need to be able to voice my feelings around this, and my hurt and my sadness. And I was sitting on all of it and not voicing it, not expressing it, which is why I said, oh, I have to put it on my throat chakra.
Right.
And it was just like,
Perfect.
yay. So
Perfect. I love it. Yeah, I
yeah.
love her affirmations too. I've been following all the affirmations, definitely. Yeah, really good. Really good.
Yeah.
So I guess, I'm just going to do my disclaimer like I always do, that we don't treat, we don't cure, we don't prevent diseases. We well, you're not considered a medical doctor, right? You're a chiropractor, but not a medical doctor, right?
Right. So yeah, it is not in my scope of practice to prescribe. I mean, I can diagnose, but obviously I can't diagnose in a situation like this. But
Right, right. I just want to make sure you weren't a medical doctor. Like that is
right.
not your classification, a medical doctor. Okay, so I would be correct if I said we are not medical doctors.
Yes, you are.
Caroline is a chiropractor, but she's not a medical doctor.
No. And so same as you, any advice that I give on any of the oils and the different body systems that they support, it is all, just based on education and my experience, that type of thing.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Yes. So that's what we're giving you. We're giving you the information, the tools, the resources, for you to go out and you do your own research, but we're here just to give you information so you can make your own educated, decision on anything to do with your health and wellness. So that's my disclaimer. So we just want to welcome you all to be entertaining more oils in your practice, in everything that you're using them for, physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And the first one that we're going to do is on cedarwood. And Caroline is going to discuss cedarwood.
So when I would educate people, and when they would, join and become members and they got their kit, cedarwood is always the first oil that I recommend that people get outside of the kit. And a couple different reasons. One, it's very, very high in, and I will do my best to pronounce this correctly, it's very high in sequesterpenes. And what those are, they're chemical compounds that support our immune system as they protect us from different microbes as well, and act like antioxidants, and they assist in cellular repair. You'll see the sequesterpenes in a lot of other oils, but like frankincense is high in them, and cedarwood is really high in them. So to be able to get an essential oil under $25 that's very high in sequesterpenes, that's like amazing. So I very first actually got cedarwood because I put in one of our oil groups that I was having issues with memory, that my kids had started calling me Dory, like from Finding Nemo, because my memory was getting really bad. I mean, it was like kind of embarrassing. And so I was like, okay, help, I need help. I need support with my memory. And a lot of people said cedarwood. So I got it and they told me diffuse it at night. So, okay, great. So I went to go diffuse it at night. The one thing I will say about it is that this is not an oil you want to diffuse by itself. Um, I know a few people enjoy the smell of it. I did not, especially when it was diffused. But when I combined it with lavender, I was like, oh, this smells amazing. And then I actually ended up adding frankincense as well. So one of my favorite nighttime blends to diffuse are equal parts of cedarwood, lavender, and frankincense. I sleep like a baby. I definitely have seen an improvement in my memory, and my kids definitely do not call me Dory anymore. So, so a recipe that I'd recommend using for that is the sleep blend that I just mentioned, which again is frankincense, lavender, and cedarwood. And cedarwood has a very calming effect to the nervous system. It supports the nervous system. And so another recipe you can use or do is a roller, like make a roller out of it. And it starts with the same three: frankincense, lavender, and cedarwood. And then you can also add copaiba to that and make a little roller, and you can use it during the day. And that's actually, it will help you focus because it supports the immune system. It's very calming. So it calms like the stress and the nerves in the nervous system, but it's still it so that it opens you up so you can be more focused and you just have more clarity and you can think more clearly. And one thing that I just wanted to say also real quick, let me pull it up, about cedarwood. I really like looking up the history of some of the oils and like the folklore and how it was used, years and years ago. Um, and the historical uses of cedarwood is that it was used by Native Americans to enhance their spiritual communication. And for them, the cedarwood was like had a symbolic effect of creating an umbrella over all of them, their land, which was like protecting them, protecting the earth, and bringing in the energy from the universe. So it's a very energetic, as far as I'm concerned, it's a very energetic oil. And, that's like emotions, energy. That's one of my favorite, both topics to discuss and my favorite uses for essential oils. So that's why I wanted to share that. So that was pretty much it for me. Did you have anything you wanted to add on that one?
The only thing I was going to add was I just learned recently a focus roller. So you had like a memory roller or sleep. You had sleep. This one's a focus roller, and you add 10 drops each of lavender, clarity, and cedarwood, and just mix with carrier oil.
Yeah. Oh, one other thing. Cedarwood is amazing for hair. So I know my husband was like, getting thin up here in the front. And so every night he would just put, some cedarwood in his palms and just kind of rub it through. But cedarwood and rosemary are both really good for supporting your hair so that, either new growth, you're not losing so much. And I think to like thicken it just a little bit, but more, I think it was about the hair growth.
Okay, great. Awesome. And also just lavender and cedarwood. You didn't mention that, did you? Just lavender and cedarwood in the diffuser?
Yeah, that was actually what when I first started using it, I just used those two together, and then I added the frankincense.
Okay, then you add the frankincense. Okay. I love the frankincense added too. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Even if you diffuse lavender and cedarwood and then just put a drop of frankincense on your head, the top of your crown chakra.
Yeah, that's amazing because frankincense is not under $25. It's definitely one of the little bit higher priced oil. And so when I diffuse it, I will just do 1 or 2 drops of the frankincense, whereas I'll do 3 or 4 of the other two. I like to be heavy-handed.
Okay. All right, so next I'm going to talk about oregano is one of our vitality oils, and I want to go over the word grass, GRAS. It stands for generally regarded as safe. Okay, so these oils are consumable. The FDA has come through, and Young Living has paid a lot of money to have them stamp their approval that they are ingestible, they're safe for consumption. So we're really proud of that. This oregano is amazing. Really amazing. I've had so many stories about this one. It has antioxidants. It's great for the immune system support and digestion for cleansing. Great for the respiratory system. It's one of the ingredients in the inner defense capsules that we have. And inner defense also has the thieves blend. So in fact, I've taken it the last 3 days because I just keep hearing of so many people out there right now getting whatever bug, bug, virus, whatever it be. The whole point is every day work on your immune system, your gut, and that's the best I can do. Let's see. Cooking. It's great for putting in your cooking dishes, pasta, spaghetti, sauce. You don't need a lot though. This one is one that you could put just 2 drops in a big pot of pasta sauce and you're good. Just use your judgment. Some people like it a little bit more, but it's a pretty powerful oil. You can also put it in a capsule. So 2 drops each of oregano vitality, thieves vitality, lemon vitality, and frankincense vitality. And then you top it off with a carrier oil, which is any of your cooking oils in the kitchen. And you want to put it in a veggie cap. And Young Living does have, gosh, I think it's 250 capsules, maybe. Is that about right? That veggie capsule bottle, we sell them.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's pretty big. I keep using them, and it's like I'm almost done, but I've used them for like years. So that is anything else that you can think of for oregano?
No, not
Okay.
that I can think of.
Okay.
It's just amazing when it comes to immune support, and that's pretty much how we use it mostly.
Yeah, I've taken just oregano in a gel cap with some carrier oil, and it's in my opinion, it's helped me to use it for like a natural antibiotic. Okay, all right, so onward to orange.
Okay, orange. I love orange. It smells so good. And I actually have, will mix it with a lot of different things in the diffuser. I also love it just in my water bottle. I use a stainless steel. You definitely want to use glass or stainless steel if you're going to add essential oils. So I have a stainless steel water bottle, and I'll put a couple drops of orange essential oil in that, and it just tastes great. But the smell is wonderful. And I if you've been around at least at all for a little bit, you know that like my original gateway, I call it my gateway oil, was Joy essential oil, which is a blend. And it does have orange in it, but a lot of times when I put it in the diffuser, I'll actually add another drop or 2 of orange, just because citrus, if you add citrus to anything, it kind of softens what other oils that you're using. So it just, again, is very nice smelling to me.
And it's great with vanilla, like a creamsicle.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, let's see. Oh, the body systems that are affected with orange are the digestive system, the immune system, skin, and then it's great for emotional balance, which again, that's pretty much what I like to use it for. It's extremely uplifting. I mean, orange, think of the sun, think of, just fresh oranges. Yeah, I see Erica writing, yum. Yeah, it's definitely a yummy one. So a couple of ideas of things that you can do. There is a what kind of named a happy blend that you can put in the diffuser, which is two drops of orange, lime, frankincense, and peppermint. And that's just going to be very emotionally uplifting and bring about that happy feeling. Another combination that you can put in the diffuser, which would be helpful for just stress, feelings of stress, equal drops of orange and frankincense, and that smells amazing together as well. And then a nice, I find this to be a nice fall diffuser blend. It's The name of it is Fireside Delight, and it's pine, clove, and orange. And again, that's equal drops. And in the fall, I will say probably my favorite diffuser blend is thieves and orange. And of course, you're diffusing thieves, you're getting all that immunity support, and then you add the orange to it, and it just is like the perfect fall smell, in my opinion.
I agree too. I've been doing that one this week.
Yeah,
Yeah, thieves and orange, love it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, in the fall, I'm like diffusing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it just really, fall's my favorite time of year. And so if I have that smell going all the time, I'm just like in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
that's it.
All right. So the next one is grapefruit, another vitality oil. And you can find this one in the Cellulite Magic Massage Oil, the Citrus Fresh essential oil. That's also a vitality. It can also come in a vitality oil, the Citrus Fresh, which has a combination of oils, including the grapefruit and Salic Essence and Super C. I didn't know that. I didn't know grapefruit was in Super C. It contains limonene, and it can actually be a great part of a healthy weight management system. And the reason being is because it has been known to dissolve fat and has very cleansing properties. It's also cold pressed from the rind of the fruit, not the juice. So it doesn't interact with medications the same as you would with grapefruit juice. Okay, two different substances here. What the wonderful thing like about orange and grapefruit, all those nice citrusy oils, they are wonderful for improving our mood, and they are very uplifting. So, if you don't have anything in your kit other than lemon, there you go. There's your citrus oil that just start diffusing that, and you'll see moods getting better. It's very refreshing and crisp, and you can add it again to your beverage. And that's it for that one. So we're on lime.
So lime being another citrus, also is a vitality oil, or comes in a vitality oil. And I see we have the question, how are the vitality oils different than the regular labeled oils? They're actually the same oil. They're not tested differently. It's the same oil. They have to be labeled differently because according to the FDA, essential oil companies cannot have an essential oil that's listed as that can be used for all three applications. And all three of the applications are aromatic, topical, and like internal or ingestible. They can be labeled for 2 uses, but not all 3 uses. So the oils that are labeled as generally regarded as safe to ingest, not all of them, but a lot of them are in Young Living's Vitality line. So anything that you see that is in a Vitality line, it is the same oil that's in the regular one. It just has a third application. So.
Okay.
So we are talking about lime, and lime is another one. Man, the first time I smelled it, I was like, oh my gosh, you just like, it's like you're sitting with a bunch of fresh cut limes around you. And again, it's citrus, so it's very uplifting. Um, it has body systems that are affected are the digestive system, the immune system, and the respiratory system. And uh, uh, it's actually often been used for a fever. So it helps support the body when the body's dealing with a fever. And the aromatic influence is very fresh, lively, it's stimulating and refreshing. So again, it's very uplifting. And I do have a couple of diffuser recipes that are great for lime. And this one is Spa Dream. That's what it's called. And it's fantastic just for that. Just imagine you're in a spa and you want to be relaxed, but yet, happy and uplifted at the same time. So it's 3 drops of lime, 3 drops of lavender, and 2 drops of peppermint. And then another diffuser recipe that you can use for lime is just uplifting, and it's 4 lime and 4 eucalyptus. And that also reminds me of a spa, because in the spa, oftentimes you smell the eucalyptus. So that's that.
Okay. All right. So next up is lemongrass, and this has it's very good for providing relief for aching joints or muscle relief, anything aching. It has a really fresh, clean scent, and it is an ingredient in the purification. One drawback of lemongrass is it can attract bees, because it kind of has a smell that attract, like the pheromones. The bees are attracted to that. So if you don't mind bees, then that's fine. But just know that if you're wearing it outside and all of a sudden the bees are humming around you, then it's because you're wearing the lemongrass. But I'm trying to think. One thing that I just found out, and I've been using it on my cement on the driveway. If you have oil stains, you just put a few drops, you get a little sponge and rub it in with some water, and then spray it down, and voila, your stains are gone.
Wow, I have not heard of that before. That is good to know.
Yeah, I know. I love learning something new every day. Yeah, that was actually a friend of mine that had told me about that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a few drops. I'm going to go do it. All right. So next up is rosemary.
I do have one more thing I want to add on the lemongrass.
Oh, okay.
Lemongrass is probably the second oil that I recommend people get outside of the kit, or maybe it's the first oil, depending on what their needs are. But this is an oil that I used all the time with my kids, them both being athletes in a sense. My daughter was a professional ballet dancer, and my son seriously into soccer and baseball. But as he got older, baseball took over. But lemongrass is really, really good for tendon health. And I first started using it with my daughter when she was dancing, because she was dealing with Achilles tendonitis. And so I made a roller of Panaway, added a little extra peppermint. There's already peppermint in Panaway, but I added a little extra peppermint, lemongrass, and copaiba. And I put in the copaiba for inflammatory support, because when you have tendonitis, the tendon is swollen. So that's what the copaiba was for, was to help with that swelling. And then the lemongrass was to just support the actual tendons. And so I would make a roller, and I'd roll that and massage, her calf and down into the tendon. And it really, really helped. And then I ended up using it on my son as well for his shoulder, just from throwing and pitching, days when he pitched, that's when, he would feel it in his shoulder. So I used it there as well. And also, I absolutely love the smell of that combination. All four of those together just smell amazing. The lemongrass just adds something. And I will say our lemongrass, the Young Living's lemongrass, just smells so good. I've smelled other lemongrass essential oils, and of course, our quality is so much better than anything else you can buy in a store, and often the oils smell very different. But ours, the lemongrass, I just absolutely love. But anyway, and it does come in Vitality as well, so you can take it internally to support the tendon health if you're having some issues like a tendonitis or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, when I had walked through a spa, I was so drawn to it, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know the name associated with the smell. And that was the first connection I had with it, that, oh my gosh, I love the smell. And it was, now I think of a spa, either eucalyptus or lemongrass in a spa. Yeah. And I guess you could put them together. Yeah. So, yeah, beautiful scent. I just love it. Just love it. No wonder the bees love it.
Yeah. Well, bees are smart.
Right.
Okay. So now moving on to rosemary. So rosemary, another one that I love and highly recommend. And I usually am recommending it for just brain support. One of the body systems that it supports is the nervous system, and the brain is, the first major part of the nervous system. And so if I'm like, needing to sit down on the computer, do some work, or, just really focus, I find blends with rosemary work really well. Rosemary's in the blend Clarity, and I love diffusing that when I'm trying to like focus. And when my son was in high school, I would diffuse it like if he was studying for midterms finals, and then really diffused it a lot when he was studying to take the SATs. And then I actually put drops on a diffuser bracelet, had him wear it when he went to take the test, so that he would have the smell throughout the test. And he raced his SAT scores like crazy. So it definitely works. It definitely supports the brain and gets, the synapses, clicking. So anyway, a couple of diffuser recipes that you can do with rosemary. There's one that's called Ocean Mist, and it's 4 rosemary, 2 lavender, 2 lemongrass, and 2 spearmint. And another one called Shooting Stars, which obviously would be a great one for the evening, just winding down, is 4 rosemary, 2 eucalyptus, and 2 lavender. And the other body systems that I wanted to get back to that rosemary supports: the nervous system, and then the immune system, and the respiratory system. And I think that was about all I have for that one. If you have anything else. It does also come in a Vitality, so you can use it while you're cooking to add it, to cooking stuff.
Yes, I have added it. And that's one to be very light. Some of these Vitality oils, you may even just use a toothpick swirl instead of like a drop or two, because they are about 100 times more powerful than the actual herb itself. So they're really, really concentrated, chemical constituents here. So yeah, rosemary, you probably, I don't know, you might be able to get away with a drop, but like I'm going into nutmeg, and maybe you just want a little swirl. And I have a good fun recipe with just some more milk. You don't have to have regular milk. You can use almond or oat milk or cashew milk, and add a little cinnamon. We also have cinnamon bark, so you can add it. I would definitely add with the cinnamon a toothpick swirl, and then the nutmeg. So you could try 1 drop of nutmeg, or to your taste, try a swirl, So it's up to you. But yeah, just the milk, the cinnamon, and the nutmeg. Very nice to have at the end of the day. It also curbs your appetite. It's like a dessert drink, if you want to, call it that. So really good with curbing your appetite. And then it is in some of these products that we have Endoflex, Energy. I will be touching on Energy coming up. That's another oil I'll talk about. Magnify Your Purpose, and Ninja Nitro. This one has a spicy aroma. Of course, we know, during the holidays, that's when we usually use nutmeg. It eases muscle discomfort. So that is all I have for nutmeg. I mean, you can put it in your baked bread. I think I have put it in my pumpkin bread.
Mm-hmm. It's another one, a good one to diffuse in the fall if you're, diffusing things like you want to do orange, nutmeg, cinnamon, clove. You can do something like that in your diffuser, and it gives you that nice, just fall going into winter mood.
Yeah, we have some yummy recipes that float around during the fall, and I know nutmeg's in there. It also, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Caroline, it helps the adrenal glands. I think it's an oil for the adrenal glands, supporting adrenal glands. Yeah. All right. So if you don't have anything else, then we're on to vetiver.
Okay, vetiver is actually kind of a fun oil because it is super, super thick. So
I just used it today.
So I say it's fun because you kind of need to know how to use it so that it doesn't drive you crazy. So first recommendation is you want to take the bottle and either put it underneath your arm or just like stick it in your bra and walk around with it for a little while so that your body heat warms it up a little bit so that it becomes a little more liquefied. Otherwise, I mean, it barely, if at all, will actually pour out of the bottle unless you kind of warm it up. But then, of course, you don't want to, artificially like warm it up with heat or sunlight because that will break down the essential oil. So I usually just like stick it. I use it at night mostly. So I just stick it like underneath my arm while I'm brushing my teeth and, kind of doing stuff to get ready for bed. And then by the time I go to sit down to use it, it's fine. It has it's very, very earthy. And I really like the earthy essential oils. For me, I was like, oh, okay, I was told this was earthy. This is really earthy. But I mean, once I put it on, I put it on the bottom of my feet. Once I put it on, and then I had also put it in the diffuser, I was like, oh, this is amazing. So I really like it. You just, be prepared that it is pretty earthy smelling. So folklore of this one is that in India, it is known as the oil of tranquility. And it's distilled from the root, and the plant is native to India. And the historical use is the, hold on a sec. Oh, that it was used as a perfume in India. So the emotion or the body systems that are supported by vetiver are emotional balance, hormonal, and nervous system and skin. And the emotional support, it's actually, I have here written a roller recipe. It's called Chill, and it has vetiver in it. So it's really good for just kind of taming down those crazy emotions. So, if you have like, a teenager who's like, or, even kids or yourself, if you, are tend to just these crazy emotions and you want to just kind of like tame them down, this roll-on is excellent for that. And it's 5 drops of Valor. It's 5 drops of each oil. And the oils are Valor, Vetiver, Lavender, and Stress Away. And so you combine all of those in like a 10 milliliter bottle, roll-on bottle, and then you just top it with a carrier oil. For roll-ons, I like jojoba oil. A lot of people will use almond oil or fractionated coconut oil or the Young Living's V6 oil. And you just top up the rest of the bottle with the carrier, and then you can roll it. And it's excellent to roll like on the back of the neck or along the spine. And it just does exactly what it says. It just kind of brings that chill. And it's also good for sleep support. And that's how I was using it. I would put a drop on the bottom of each foot if I was, I don't know, it's not like I was dealing with insomnia, but I just felt like either my mind was kind of going when I was getting ready for bed, and I just intuitively felt drawn to the oils. I was getting ready for bed, and so then I'll put it on. And I've also used it in the diffuser as well, with usually frankincense, lavender. So anyway, just going back to the aroma, yes, it's earthy, but it's also heavy and smoky. And some people like refer to it as like it's reminiscent of patchouli, but it's a little like deeper, I think. That's how I would describe it. It's a little more robust than patchouli. I think that's about all I have for that. I actually love it and do find it just very soothing to the nervous system.
Yeah, I actually used it today in what I pulled up a recipe called Xan Calm, XAN Calm. Have you seen that one floating around?
I think I have the original that was titled something that we can no longer.
Oh, right. I love how they call it Xan Calm. Yeah, but it added lavender to your recipe. It added a few more. Yeah, but it was a lot. I mean, if you make a 15 milliliter roller ball, it was like 50 drops of lavender, 35, it was like a lot of all of these oils. And I know Stress Away was in there, Vetiver and Valor, definitely.
I actually have that recipe. Yes, it
Okay.
was 50 drops. You do it in a 15 milliliter bottle.
Right.
50 as in 50 drops of lavender, 35 drops of Valor, 30 drops of Stress Away, 15 drops of patchouli, and 15 drops of vetiver.
Okay, so patchouli was the other one and the lavender. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, there was lavender in the one that in the roll-on that I mentioned.
Oh, okay. I wrote yours down, but I only put 3, so it was 4 oils.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Okay, and that's 5 drops each. Okay.
Yeah. So it looks like the only one that isn't in here. Yeah, the only
is the patchouli.
Patchouli.
Yeah, interesting. So it's very similar.
Right, but then the number of drops.
A lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, I will say, Stress Away was like my daughter's favorite oil when I first got my kit, and she found it very relaxing. She would put it on before she went out to perform. As soon as she put it on, it was like, okay, all the performance anxiety stuff was gone. I love the smell of Stress Away, but it didn't have that effect on me. And then I saw this recipe floating around, and this was years ago, and my husband and I were getting ready to travel somewhere. And I mean, it's not like we're crazy horrible travelers, but I would just get in the airport, I have like this space issue. So when I'm in big crowds, I just get anxious. It's like too much other people's energy coming at me, so I'm like, okay, I want to use something that's gonna just help calm me down. And I had seen this, so I made a roller bottle of it and put it on, and I truly was like, oh, I mean, I just felt the relaxation just like wave over me from the top of my head and just went down. So I that pretty much always have a bottle of this made, um, just because I really, really noticed a difference with it. So
Great. Yeah, it sounds like a great combination.
yeah, it's a great recipe.
And then I was going to say the vetiver though today, I was able to just, wait for just a little bit, and it was, a little thick, but it came out, it kept dropping. Myrrh is one that I have such a hard time with. I have to, like you said, warm it up in my hands for 5 minutes. That's a really thick one. Okay, so next up is lemon myrtle. And I don't actually, this is one oil I don't have a lot of experience, so I'm going to go to my handy dandy app here. And I thought there was something here that was interesting for some historical data. The Aboriginal people of Australia valued lemon myrtle's flavor in cooking, calling it bush food. It is also known as the queen of lemon herbs. Lemon myrtle can replace lemon in milk-based foods as it does not have lemon's curdling problems. It's also widely used as people know it as the quote healing plant. So anyways, yeah, I thought that was all very interesting. It's valued in perfumery. That we haven't talked much about that. There's another oil that's coming up that's actually in perfume, which you wouldn't think it would be. But it's got a very uplifting, invigorating, fresh, sweet lemon scent. And it's in the only product it's in is Salique Slim Caps. Is that the gum? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Salique Slim Caps. Anyways, that's all I have about lemon myrtle. Yeah, unless you have anything else.
No, I actually recently just got it because it was one of the promotional items. And I think that's how I got it. Either that or I mistakenly ordered it thinking I was ordering lemon. But yeah, so I haven't used it much, if at all. And I don't have
Okay.
a lot of experience with it. I usually just go for the plain lemon.
Okay, well, we're at like about 10 minutes to 8, so we're already on number 12 for wintergreen.
Okay, so we'll speed it up a little bit here. Wintergreen is excellent for supporting pain, supporting like when you have pain, and supporting just your muscles and bones. It's often used in products that help support people with like arthritis and any kind of muscle um, or tendon like sprain strain type of stuff. It is a major component in a lot of the Cool Azul products, like the Cool Azul pain cream, the sports cream, uh, what else? The Cool Azul essential oil blend. And it's amazing because it's under $25, and like the Panaway uh, blend that comes in the kit to replace that, that's an expensive blend. Um, and it's a fantastic blend. I love it, again because we're a family of like athletes, and so I'm using it a lot. But if you need to replace your Panaway and you're on a budget that you need to watch that, you can get wintergreen, and then you can combine, make your own roller of like wintergreen, peppermint, clove, and you're still going to get that support if you're dealing with any kind of muscle or joint pain. And it's mainly the body systems that it affects or supports are muscles and bones, and excellent for use of any type of cramping, arthritis, tendons, tendonitis. Like I said, when I did that roller with the lemongrass, the main oil that I put in there first was the Panaway. That was like the main oil, and then the others were to support. So That's pretty much it. And if you want to diffuse it, it's excellent to diffuse, but it kind of has it creates a root beer like scent because it was a component in root beer or an ingredient in root beer. So I was actually diffusing it one time, and one of my son's friends walked over and he was like, "Oh, it smells like a root beer float in here."
Yeah,
Right.
it smells very yummy that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in my experience, Panaways even helped with the wintergreen component in it, has helped me with the tension headache just by diffusing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so onward to citronella. This is our summer oil. Oh, here is one where we talked about first cedarwood. It recommends that you, for insect repellent properties, for insect repellent, combining the citronella with the cedarwood. Okay, so this combination creates the insect repellent properties. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't know that. It's in purification. It's in the Animal Sense shampoo. It's in the YL's insect repellent, which is very concentrated. We've talked about that one. Yeah, it helps with all those, instead of getting out a candle, why not just diffuse, and get rid of those little pests that are flying around. So that's all I have to say about citronal.
Okay. So next off, or we're on to cinnamon bark. And cinnamon bark is a key ingredient in the Thieves blend, the Thieves oil blend. And again, it smells amazing. Um, Fantastic oil to diffuse in the fall. And the body systems that it supports are the immune system, which would be, why it's such an important component in the Thieves blend. And let's see, historical uses. It's one of the most ancient spices, and it actually used to be included in just about every prescription that was done in ancient China. And it was regarded as a tranquilizer, a tonic, and a stomach aid, and was great for emotional support as well as cardiovascular support. So, yeah, I mean, I mentioned the immune support. It's great for fighting, any kind of issues where you need that immune support. And I know we're kind of in a hurry, so I really don't have much else to say about it. A
Okay.
couple of fun
Yeah.
diffuser recipes, real quick. One is called Fire and Ice, 2 cinnamon and 2 peppermint. I've never done this one. I thought it sounded really interesting, so I might try that. And then another one, By the Fire. And I've actually diffused this before. I didn't even know there was, I just did it just playing around. But 1 drop of cinnamon, 3 drop of orange, and 3 drop of frankincense. And, if you're watching how much frank you use, you can always just do 1 or 2 drops. But I've done like cinnamon and orange together. And again, it's just an amazing fall scent.
Yeah, it's yummy together. Okay, so onward to clove. Clove has an ORIC score of over 1 million UTEs. Okay, now the ORIC score is the oxygen radical absorbance capacity. It's a test that measures total antioxidant power of foods and other chemical substances. So 1 million is very, 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 very high. It's a very, very amazing oil. A lot of people, it's in Thieves, one of the oils that are in Thieves, essential oil. And it's been used I've used it for like numbing my gum area when I had a big gouge, taken out from a chip during COVID. I think I explained that in one of my my painful experience. But yeah, it numbs your gums. That's why in Thieves, you know, you can put, as I've told you, a drop in the back of your throat, and it has that numbing ability to help with your sore throat subsiding. That's definitely been in my experience. So I got some. Got drink. Oh, okay. But yeah, clove, and oh, ants don't like it either. Speaking of ants this year, oh my gosh, they think they've been coming the last 2 years into my house. So clove is one of the ingredients in a ant spray recipe, which I don't have that right now, but if you want it, I can get it to you. So that's all I have about clove.
Okay. And then next one up is sage. And I'm always like, oh, and I just love this one. But I actually do love sage. And my husband and I have been using it in our sauna like almost daily. A while back, when I first started using it, this was like a couple years ago, I just was intuitively, I was drawn to it. I don't know why, but I just need this in the diffuser today. And I diffused it for a few days. And then he and I happened to go for a hike, my husband and I. And we're walking along and we walked past some sage bushes and the smell just like hit me. And it dawned on me, that's why I was craving the sage smell in the house, because it had been a long time since we had gone for a hike. And so you know, I was just being drawn out to nature. And anyway, I just made that connection. I found that very interesting. Anyway, folklore around sage is that it's recognized by the Lakota Indians as a purifier and a master healer. And they considered, and the Romans considered it a sacred herb. They actually had a name for it, herba sacra, which meant sacred herb. So, and some historical uses of it, it had been used for like respiratory issues, menstrual difficulties, for digestive support, and basically like mouth inflammation and issues. And the body systems that it supports are the hormonal system and the immune system. And the aromatic influence in particular is very beneficial in supporting a person when they're actually dealing with depression, with, you know, just that, the sadness. When you're actually feeling that, sage is a really good essential oil to diffuse, to support your emotions there. And also the aromatic influence is great for mental fatigue, strain. So if you're just like, you know, like feeling like your brain just can't handle anymore, sage is definitely a great oil to diffuse. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay, spearmint. Okay, so, you know, peppermint has a more strong smell and taste, similar, but it's milder. The spearmint is milder. It's a key ingredient in the tummy jize and aroma ease. And it is said to increase metabolism and help with nausea and opening up emotional blocks. Okay, so onward to Gemma Baby, if you don't have anything else on spearmint.
No, okay. I love it.
Okay.
Very uplifting.
Yeah.
Peppermint too, but there's something about spearmint for me that I find it very uplifting. So, okay, so Gentle Baby, I have smelled it, but I haven't. I mean, I wasn't using. Unfortunately, I wasn't using Young Living when my kids were young. So, I don't have any personal experience with it. I have seen and heard a number of testimonials where, you know, a baby is just crying and is inconsolable, and the mom will take the bottle of Gentle Baby and just, you know, kind of wave it underneath the baby's nose, and they breathe it in, and they just slow, it's like, you know, and they just stop crying. I know there were some videos
Oh,
when,
that was such an effective video. I remember that one. I
yeah,
mean,
well,
it instantly.
there was another one recently on Instagram Reels, that, you know, somebody did that. And yeah, you just see the baby just like, you know, kind of stop crying and blinks and looks around like, whoa, you can imagine they're thinking, whoa, what was that? Anyway, lots of testimonials about it. And, you know, it's supposed to be fantastic. It is a blend. It has rosewood, geranium, palmarosa, lavender, Roman chamomile, lang lang, lemon, jasmine, bergamot, and rose. So quite a few oils in there. You know, a lot of them for to promote, you know, like uplifting, to soothe the endocrine system. Uh, let's see what else in here. The nervous system, you know, just calming down like the irritability or, you know, overactive nervous system. And yeah, so it's great for both newborns, but also for moms.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so the expectant mom as well as, you know, when for the mom once the baby's born as well. It's comforting, soothing, and relaxing, and it also can relieve the stress during both pregnancy, but then also during labor, also during the birthing process. So
I
that's
like the smell. I love the smell. I actually, yeah, I mean, I would compare it to just this different scent blend over Peace and Calming. You know, it's kind of like one or the other, but it has a nice scent, and I love it. I actually really like it. So very calming. All right, so Christmas spirit. This one I love talking about. It's because it's one of the oils that my husband really connected with, and in fact, he was just asking for it just yesterday, and he said, "You know what? That oil that I really like, Christmas spirit. You know," and he wants to put it in. He has like an off-road vehicle, and he just steam cleaned it, and he goes, I want to put that Christmas spirit in there and get that nice scent, you know, going. So he wants to diffuse, you know, that in the car, so you can, you know, get that aroma in there. So that's another place where you can put your oils. So it has that wonderful scent of cinnamon and pine scent. Just, I mean, and you walk in and you immediately just feel like it's Christmas, especially around the holidays. That is one to definitely diffuse. And it's such an inexpensive oil. I mean, for that 5 milliliter bottle, it's maybe what, $11?
yeah.
Really inexpensive. But you know, the name says it all. So it's not one that you can consume, but it sure does smell wonderful.
Yeah, and I know there have been a number of years where they've done a 15 milliliter bottle, um,
Yes.
either as a promotional item, like they would do the 15 milliliter bottle as a promotional item for November, so that you had it for the month of December, and it was like, yay!
Yes. Yeah. Anytime you can get that 15 milliliter bottles, those, yeah,
Yeah.
better bang for your buck. All
Okay.
right, Melrose.
Yes. So Melrose is a blend, and I will be 100% honest. I've actually never even smelled this. I don't have it. So I don't have any personal experience with it. So I'm going to read what it says here in my app. It has strong antiseptic properties. The oils that are in it are tea tree, and then another tea tree. I don't even know how to pronounce this other word. It's tea tree quinquenervia, and then a rosemary and clove. So there are 4 different oils in this blend, and that give it basically these kind of antiseptic properties. And it's excellent to support any type of skin issue when you have like cuts, bruises, scrapes, or insect bites. But and it does that primarily by helping with tissue regeneration, when you have an injury. So that's that. Oh, I guess it's like a great one to diffuse, like if you need a room deodorizer type of thing. And that I'm sure would be because of all those, the tea tree, the rosemary, and the clove would all be great as kind of like a deodorizer. And then the body systems that are affected are, like I said, the skin, and then also the respiratory system. So have you had Melrose? Have you used it at all?
No, that's another one. Yeah, 2 on here that I have not had any experience with.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I will move on to grounding. It's another blend, wonderful for the emotions, supporting the emotions. And what it has in here is white fir, black spruce, ylang ylang, cedar wood, angelica, and juniper. It is said to complement feelings of stability, clarity, and spirituality. And it can create an atmosphere of finding self-awareness. And I don't think I've had experience with this oil. No, because I was thinking it's not in the kit, it's not in the feelings kit. So I mean, unless I've had it at like a class that they passed it around, I probably have, but I don't own grounding. Yeah.
I have had it, and it's been on my list of like to order again because the smell is amazing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of those that I just love the smell. I would wear it as perfume. And I also loved it diffused. It just comes in a 5 milliliter bottle. And the only reason I end up like, I'll have it on my list of things to order, and then I'm replacing a lot of the things that I use on a daily basis, and a lot of the other products like my Thieves Cleaner and my Nimsha and all that stuff. So then it kind of gets pushed down, and I'll get it next month, and I just keep like, I guess pushing it down. But it is an amazing oil, and for me, the name says it all. It just grounds me. I'm very earthy. I'm an earthy person. I'm a Capricorn. I even in the Chinese calendar or the horoscope or whatever, I'm a goat in that. So I'm very earthy. And just the mountains, the forest, the trees, all that soothes my soul. So grounding, the essential oil, it does that to me. I feel it when I, smell it, and when I have it diffusing, it just puts me in that same kind of energy, that same kind of space. So I really, really like it.
Erica says she read that Melrose is good to have as a roller when you're hiking.
Oh, I will have to look that up. Did Erica, if you can put in the chat, like,
yeah,
why? Yeah. What's it good for? Why is it good for hiking? I don't
know. I don't know. If she wants to, if she knows. For cuts, scrapes, and bites. Oh, it's a medicinal one. Okay.
Not get some for our backpacking trip.
Yeah, so that's good to know, because we talked about that first aid kit, and I didn't mention the Melrose. So cuts, scrapes, and bites. Yeah, that's good to note. Cuts, scrapes, and bites.
Yeah. Okay, so because of time, I'm going to keep moving on.
Okay.
Now the next oil, maybe you have experience with it. This one I again do not. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, oh, I think I need to get this.
Is this the one with cinnamon in it?
It's Exodus 2.
I think this is one of those oils that they recommended, for the times we're in. to, help with the times we're in right now with all these things coming at us. I think it's Exodus 2.
Recommended for like immune support or emotional support?
I was going to say immune support.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, Exodus 2 is a blend, and the oils that are in it are cassia, myrrh, cinnamon bark, calamus, hyssop, galbanum, frankincense, and spikenard. And it's considered like, a biblical oil because many of the essential oils are oils that are mentioned numerous times in the Bible. And the intent behind this particular blend of oils is to enhance the body's ability to expel disease and dead tissue. So there would be your immune support. And it's also specifically designed to work with the Exodus food supplement to help build one's defenses. So yeah, it looks like it would be a pretty powerful immune support, actually. Oils or body systems that it supports are mostly related to the immune system. So, and I'm sure it smells fantastic with the frankincense, the myrrh, the hyssop, and the cinnamon and cassia. I'm sure it has that very earthy, spicy, aroma to it.
Yeah, and I thought some of those oils like spikenard, I don't know galbanum, but I know spikenard, we can't get that right now.
Yeah, well, I don't think galbanum, yeah. Does Young Living even sell that on its own? I don't think they do.
I know spikenard they did, I thought, but not galbanum. I don't know. See, those are two oils, but like I'm saying, you can get them in this blend.
Yeah, and same with calamus. I don't think that's an oil that you can get on your own. So anyway,
yeah,
that's a very interesting blend. I know I've heard people talk about it and really, really like it. I just have never, I just haven't tried it. Okay.
Okay, so black pepper. This one, it's in products Awaken, that blend, and Energy, which I just had. Energy, I think I'm going to be talking about that one. I just put that on in some salts. Dreamcatcher and the Ninja Nitro drink, or it's a supplement. But I wanted to read, this is the one about, it's in perfume. It's great for perfumes. So I want to go to my notes. Black pepper, here we go. It's a classic ingredient in many perfumes. Like black pepper vitality can also be added to chili, soups, stews, marinades, barbecue sauces, appetizers, and entrees. So next time you want to spice things up, you may want to grab that black pepper instead of the grinder. So yeah, I put it in a chicken salad. I actually put one drop in a chicken salad, and it was pretty interesting, very interesting. It's in the Zing. Black pepper's in the Zing, that drink, the drink of ours.
Right. My favorite way of using it is I'll add 1 drop of black pepper and 2 drops of orange to my Nisha shot. And yeah, and that's that. I was told that it tasted really good, and I didn't believe my friend who said that. So I tried it, and I was like, oh yeah, it definitely is. And it's black pepper is great for the digestive system and the nervous system. So I was like, oh, because I could always use digestive system help. That's like my weak area of my body. And so I like to do that with the black pepper.
I like it. Sounds good.
Okay, next is Endoflex, and it's Endoflex Vitality. Endoflex is it's a blend, and it has spearmint, sage, geranium, myrtle, nutmeg, and German chamomile. And the body systems that it supports mainly is the endocrine system. And I actually do use this oil. I pretty much use it every day. In the morning, I will put drop one drop on each foot, so on the bottom of my foot, and then one drop over my thyroid. And it the main purpose of the blend is to balance and support the endocrine system, which is like why I put it over my throat, and I put it on the bottom of my feet on the adrenal vitaflex point. So to help my adrenals and my thyroid, and it also supports the pineal, pituitary, the thymus glands, the parathyroid. So, and the reason I started doing it is because it helps support us. Oh darn, I'm flaking on the word. Mature, us mature women at this point in our life, and if we are dealing with, when the hot flashes, it supports that. And so that was why I originally started using it, and have definitely noticed a significant decrease in those. So I will do that every morning and put that on. I mentioned the oils that were in it, and it's mostly the endocrine system. It is vitality, so you can put it in a capsule and take it internally. I just, use it topically and put it on, like I said, the Vitaflex point for my adrenals, on the feet, and then on the thyroid itself.
So Caroline, you don't have to add a carrier oil when you put it over the throat. You just add it straight, neat.
I do. And the biggest reason, I'm lazy.
Really. Yeah. But I mean, there's no burning sensation, like, because I thought, wasn't there cinnamon in it, or no?
No, there's no cinnamon, but there is spearmint. And any of the mint oils, if you are sensitive, you're gonna want to use a carrier. I mean, but I can stick peppermint on me, like large amounts of peppermint I can just put on me, and I have no issue with it. Whereas some people are really sensitive to that, and they cannot use peppermint topically without having a carrier. So, definitely want to know your limits, or, where you're at with it, and go from there. But no, I just use it straight.
Okay. Yeah, I'm my whole family's that way, where we could practically use all the oils straight, except, maybe if there's one of those hot oils in it, I've heard of people burning themselves, their lips, or some part of their body, and it's like, if you aren't sure, just be safe and add that carrier oil.
Yeah. I think I may have mentioned one time I was, my son was sick, and I put thieves on, and he, congested and kind of sore throat, whatever. So I just put some thieves on him topically, and I had used just a small amount of carrier, and then I was putting layering oregano on top of it, but I didn't use additional carrier. And I put it on. I'm just like, hurrying. This is when he was younger, so I'm like hurrying, trying to get him to bed. He was a teenager, so it's like he was super young, but he's sitting there going, "Mom, this kind of burns." And he was like, Mom, it's," and he just like slowly, his eyes got bigger and bigger. And oh, Garrett, just chill. And then I turn around, I look at him, and his chest is like all red. I was like, "Oh my God, hold on." And I went and I got coconut oil and just slathered it on him. And within a minute or two, he was fine. But yeah, for me, I didn't have a problem with it. But, his skin was much more sensitive. And so, like I said, initially I used some carrier oil when I put these on, but I should have used more, and I should have used more when I was actually applying the oregano. But anyway.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm going to talk about energy now. This one actually is priced at $26.50, so I think there was a price increase, and it's a tad bit over 25. Just wanted to note that. But it has rosemary, juniper, lemongrass, nutmeg, Idaho grand fir, clove, and black pepper. So a lot of the oils we've already just discussed, except Idaho grand fir, are in this blend. I love it. It says it right in the name, energy. And in fact, my energy levels were kind of going a little bit low this afternoon. And then I'm like, I'm going to get in the shower. I got the Himalayan sea salt. I put 4 drops in there and, mixed it up, put it, and the salts also help cleanse and detoxify. And I was energized afterwards. It's amazing. So just putting them in the bath salts and applying on your body. So this one is definitely for, it's a very aromatic blend. It smells wonderful. I just love it. My body agrees with it. So that's all I'm going to say about that. It's all in the name, energy for sure.
Yeah. And I just have to reiterate how fantastic it is really for energy. And like if I start to get that midday, slump,
Oh.
the bottom of my feet to just to support my adrenals in the middle of the day, again, to help with that afternoon slump. But I do really like the smell of it. But I will say both my husband and my son do not like it. So I know that if I'm using it during the day when they're around, I'm going to have to, hear, oh my God, you're using that oil. They're like, they love almost all the oils, but that one in particular, there's something in it they're not fans of, but I love it. Okay, and then this is our last one. Yeah, our last oil here is purification. And purification used to come in the kit, and when they took it out, oh, we're not doing kits anymore, so never mind. I was going to say when they took that one out, I was like really sad. But it's a blend, and it has citronella, lemongrass, rosemary, tea tree, lavender, and myrtle. And this is an amazing oil for just air purification. I have little spray bottles throughout my house, definitely in all the bathrooms, where I have it mixed with water purification and witch hazel, and I just use it as a room spray. I'll also put drops of purification on the dryer balls, the wool dryer balls, and throw that in the dryer. If I run out of purification, I will just use lemongrass on the dryer balls. And lemongrass is in purification, but anyway, it's just fantastic to, fight any of those, smelly bacteria that might be left in the clothes, or, just stuff that's floating in the air. And basically the aromatic influence, it's great for purifying when it's diffused, and not just for like smells, but also when someone's sick in the house. A lot of times, just to fight whatever might be floating around in the air. I usually have the thieves like around, I'll say around the sick person. So if it's my son, I'll have thieves going in his room if he's resting in there. But then like in other parts of the house, I'll have either thieves or purification diffusing as well. And it also is actually good for the digestive system and for emotional balance and for the skin. So that's what I have for that.
Yeah, like spot treating a pimple.
That, and also insect bites. It's
Yeah.
good for that as well. Purification and peppermint. Those two, like you can layer one on top of the other, and those are great for insect bites and the itching and stuff like that.
Okay, love it. Yeah, burn pan, that burn pan smell in the house, it helps with that, and stinky.
Oh, I never do that.
Never.
That's only because I never cook. Okay.
Oh, okay. So it would be you never cooking, and me, it would be because I'm multitasking and walking away from cooking, and then it ends up burning. So, all right. Well, really appreciate you being here, any ones that is here. And I know people also get more benefit, it seems, when you record them and put them when they can see them on their own time. But again, thank you, Caroline, for joining me, and to everyone, and see you next time. I forgot what next week's topic is. Do you remember?
I don't have it in front of me. No,
Is it the ditch and switch one next week?
I think it is.
Yeah, because then there's the
The healthy home.
healthy home, and then something after that. Boy, I'm forgetting, but yeah, same time, same place every week. And I think,
next week is the home wellness.
Oh, okay. Next week is home wellness. Okay, I jumped ahead.
And then
Thank you.
The week after that is ditch and switch. And then the week after that, August 25th, so the last Wednesday of the month, is harmony in the home.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. So the theme kind of this month is, just around home, making your home more clean, natural based, getting rid of the toxins that create so much dis-ease in, us and society, etc. So anyway, look forward to all of that, and really hope that today, gave you some ideas as far as other oils that you can start using to build your oil arsenal. That's how I refer to it, because really that's what it is. We have so many different things to just help us in so many areas of our life naturally. So
love it. All right. Well, we will see you in next week.
all right. Thanks.
All right. Bye, everyone.